Hey ladies, did you know that focusing on weight loss can actually be more harm to your health than actually just being more active and enjoying life? So when I first started my journey, I was in a bad place. I'm just going to be honest, a bad place mentally, and I just wanted to feel better. I never thought about weight. I just, people would bring it up and I was like, sure, I had my old name used to be Fit and 160. I was like, I'll just make a goal weight of 160. To be honest, I was 328 pounds. I never thought I would even get to 285, so it wasn't a big deal. I was trying to get into a better mind space. I was just trying to feel better. And what ended up happening is as I continued to do things that made me feel better, the weight just fell off. Like I was being active. I was working out to a program. I was trying new things. I was just really enjoying life and the weight just started to come off. And to this day, I've never been 328 pounds again. Now, let me be 100% honest. I was not 100% to my journey. I would get started on a program and days will happen. And I'll take some days off from working out in my program. Or maybe I would eat fabulous for like a couple days. And then the weekend would come and I'd be like, give me all of the goodies. But I never let that stop because every day I just wanted to feel better. And whatever that feel better was, that's what I did. And that's what my focus was. It never was about trying to be perfect. It wasn't about trying to, meet some number. And then what ended up happening was when it actually got in my head that maybe I should be losing weight. Like people were like, if you did all this, your weight should be this. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to focus on my weight. And I started to become miserable because I was like, I'm doing all this or I'm doing all that or I'm not into having the foods that I like or I enjoy. And I would look on the scale and it wouldn't go down, or I would fit into something that I haven't fit in years, right? And then all of a sudden I would look at the scale and I'm like, but I'm bigger scale wise than I was like before, but physically I'm smaller. Like I just don't get it. So I realized that the scale it can mess with a lot of your head if that is your goal. And here's another reason why. Most of us, and let's just be honest with this, most of us start our journey because we hit a bad place. Either someone said something to us to embarrass us. I know I was embarrassed because I got on the ride and I embarrassed my kids. Well, I couldn't get on the ride and I embarrassed my children. So I was forced off of it. And I was like, okay, Benika, you have to do something. That's embarrassing as shit. You're in a marriage, and I'm not saying that your marriage is bad, but maybe you're feeling like you're missing something out of your relationship and you feel maybe you're ugly, or maybe your husband's not attracted to you, or your wife or whoever's not attracted. So you're like, if I lose some weight, maybe this will help me with our situation. Maybe your children are, you're going through something and you're just using it as a way to block out the badness. But the reason you decided to lose weight was based off of something negative. It wasn't for a positive reason, right? Or sometimes, or it could be this. You have to get married. That's a positive reason. Let's use positive too. You got 6 months. You have to get married. You have a cruise you have to go on. Your high school reunion is coming up. Your child's graduation. Those are positive reasons, right? But the positive reasons have end dates. Did you notice that? Like, it's for this. It's not a long-term thing. And the negative reasons, it fuels you to do better, but until you prove a point. So after you've proved that point or felt like you out of your negativity, what's next? If you use weight, you're going to fall off. What's going to happen is you're going to be like, my girlfriend told me that I was fat. It embarrassed me. I'm going to lose 50 pounds. I lost that 50 pounds. Now look at me. Look at me. Okay, so what's next? There's no long-term reason behind that. So you go back to bad habits because you proved your point. You're feeling good. You're feeling yourself. You didn't really make it a lifestyle change. You made it a point to make. Or the positive reasons. You get married. You got into your dress. You had the fabulous moment. Now you're with the love of your life. It's time to, to enjoy life. You're like, okay, I don't need to work out. I have what I needed. Instead of going, you needed to work out to be with the love of your life for longer. Or you're like, I'm going on this cruise. And you go on the cruise. We all know what happens on cruises. We gain weight because we go to enjoy ourselves. But it was never put into your future to what are you going to do after the cruise? Or your high school reunion. Hello, you're going to have many more. Let's go, on to that. Or your child's graduation. Like, it's just to get to that point. So what I want you ladies to do is stop focusing on weight and start focusing on living your life the way you want to live your life. And the weight loss is going to come off, because every person that has been on this journey with me, right? We may not be doing the same things. We started at the same time, or maybe they started after me or I started after them. What ends up happening is I see the post, I've gained all the weight back that I had when I first started. And it's because they were focused on that weight. I'm not going anything against keto, but unless you have made a decision that keto is going to be your lifestyle because you have a health issue, carbs really mess up your gut health, you have seizures, unless you make the decision on that day that keto is going to be the way you eat for the rest of your life, you're going to gain that weight back. Because you only went after it to focus on weight. And once you hit that weight, it's like, okay, now I'm going to go back to doing what I want to do. And you can't do that on this lifestyle. Like, you can't do that. You have to make a decision to do whatever you can do from the beginning and continue doing it towards the end. So weight loss can actually have a negative effect if that is the focus. I ask you to think of the positive things in your life and focus on that. Do you have children? Do your children, do you want to be there for your grandchildren? Do you have fur babies? Do you want to be able to take your fur baby out on a good run, a good walk, a good time? Like, what positive things do you have in your life that you can show up in your best self? Like, think about that and let that fuel you. Let that be the reason why showing up and being the best of yourself every day. Now, I'm not talking about being perfect. We're going to have those days. Some days our mind is going to be like, I just can't give it my all with my workout. It's best for me. What I've learned is best to step back and take a mental day than do a half-ass workout, because it can be a little... It can fuck you up more than you think, right? So be okay with taking those days to sit back and say, why are you not able to get into it? Making your fitness a part of a priority in your life. Like, make sure you put that time in for you first before you put time in for everybody else. So schedule it like an appointment with everything else in life. With your food, again, don't worry about being 100%, but plan in days that you want to have a treat. So if there's no reason for you to have a brownie sundae every day at lunch, why are you having it? Like, say you're going to have it on Saturday, so you don't feel like you're being without. I found out, for me, being on a restrictive diet or in a restrictive mindset sets me up for failure, because I don't stick to the restriction. I'm a bit of a rebel. So I end up just like going against what I was doing in the first place. So hopefully, all of that made sense to you and that helped. But stop focusing on weight itself. Focusing on the life that Become Healthier is going to provide, and watch the weight fall off. I promise you, it's just gonna fall off. The weight, the energy's gonna come back. The clothes are gonna fit more amazing, because you're not going to have to worry about telling yourself, oh man, I've gained all my weight back. Y'all have a good one.